everybody! This week on Ask Kristen, I'm setting out to prove that American women are just simply superior. No, I'm not! So this week's Ask Kristen question is coming from Liza Solly, who issued a challenge. How do you think European and American women differ? How did they shape that country and continent, and what makes them unique? I don't have time and cannot sit here and break down how both American and European women shaped their respective histories. I will say that if you go in and look at women's history in Europe, especially in Western Europe, you're gonna see a lot of similar themes as you do in American women's history. But first, let's talk about some stereotypes. When I first read this question of how are American and European women different, I immediately thought, well, European women are more stylish. Obviously, I'm a French woman, and I will say from time that I have spent in Europe, that's true. And I think the reverse is that American women are loud and a bit uncouth. I'm so sorry that you had to hear and see that. But there also seems to be a somewhat troubling assumption that not only are European women more sophisticated, worldlier, and just generally sexier, they're also more sexually permissive. For instance, a blog post over at mavericktraveler.com assessing why European women are essentially superior to American women, Maverick Traveler writes that, quote, "Unlike in America, a European girl doesn't feel like she's being gamed when a man is trying to insert a penis into her vagina. European women actually find it appealing that a man is trying to seduce them. It's a validation of their sexual attractiveness." Okay, I am a little concerned that Maverick Traveler's definition of seduction does appear to be inserting a penis into a vagina. Just pro tip, you might want the seduction to happen a little bit before that. And from internet observation, it seems like the same group of people that assume European women are just more ready for your penis seduction than American women also love European women more because they culturally just accept men for men. They know that their role is to both satisfy you sexually but also satisfy you domestically. And I have a hunch that this more sexualized stereotype of European women really began to permeate American pop culture after World War I, because that, for instance, is when the term French kiss entered our lexicon. And it wasn't because the French were all like, "This is how you kiss with your tongues and this is the word for it." It was something American soldiers brought back to their girlfriends and wives after World War I, being like, "Oh, we must kiss in this really intense, tongue-heavy kind of way because that is how the French women do." But this issue of sex does lead us to a couple of ways in which America, aka America, has both historically and culturally treated women compared to women in European nations. From our nation's founding over here in the US of A, thanks to more religious fundamentalism and Puritanism, sex has been something a little scary. Europe has had a more comprehensive approach to it. Even if you look at, for instance, sex education in a lot of European countries today, it's far more comprehensive over there than it is in abstinence-only loving USA-ville. Not to say, though, that Europe is completely free of any religious hang-ups when it comes to things like sex and reproduction. Hello, Ireland, and also Spain, which only passed the right to abortion on demand in 2010. Europe on a whole has been more supportive of working mothers, and that also goes back to World War II. A lot of European populations were just decimated, but at the same time, the economies were also decimated, and so they needed people working. So a lot of European governments at that time implemented maternity care policies so that women could work and also be moms. Obviously, we're going to differ even within the United States, even within our own regions and neighborhoods, but there are a lot of similar issues that women face regardless of what side of the Atlantic they're on. Reproductive rights, bodily autonomy, sexual assault, gender wage gap. Liza, you gave me a massive question, and I don't know if I've so much answered it as talked around it, but it was a question that I wanted to explore and open up to a lot of you, because I know that you have so many good insights and you are sitting in spaces that I've never sat in. Women around the globe, what are our similarities and our differences? An obnoxious American lady just wants to know. You know what to do. Leave a comment below. Thanks to everybody who watched and commented on last week's Ask Cristen video. Do gay guys have an unhealthier body image? Melva Cross commented, I have several reasons why I feel really pressured to be thinner. For me, most importantly, is that I want to portray some kind of masculinity. I hate it when people see gay men as effeminate dudes. Just because you're gay doesn't mean you like fashion, the color pink, and such. It feels like an obligation to defy stereotypes, but I think it also comes down to personal preference. I often think to myself, would I date myself? Do I find myself good looking? Even though my last boyfriend was into chubby guys, I wasn't, and started to get rid of a few pounds. And Kono Asami said, I've had many men state blatantly to me that thin and smooth is best for gays like me. It's really ingrained too. I see most of whom are like me have eating disorders, and we just play it off like it's nothing. Well, if you've got something on your mind, how about that transition? Just ask me your questions so I can give you some answers.